My name is Alan Cohen. I am the Managing Director of Living Great Real Estate here in Fairlawn. Together with my wife, Evelyn Cohen, she's the broker owner of Living Great Real Estate. We are a boutique agency and we're fairly new, about 2 years old. I also run a company called ACM Records, and we do a lot of licensing of music to TV and film. I'm happy to say that I am on the board of the chamber, and it gives me a great opportunity to get in front of the community and work with these other people. Today, I have a fantastic guest for you today. Her name is Tam Vaughn. She's the manager of business development at Bergen Community College. She also works with the continuing education department and corporate training. Hi, Tam. How are you today? It's great for you to come on.
Oh, Alan, I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. I know you've been on quite a few of our meetings as a viewer, as our participant, but today we really get to spotlight you and what you do. And it's great to have you here because Bergen Community is such a great part of our community. I know my daughters went to Bergen Community for their first 2 years, and then they went on to Ramapo College and also to Montclair. But it was a great stepping stone, and they said that they had a great education there. And, to do your first classes, your like one-on-one classes, you don't need to be anywhere else. Of course, if you want to be, but the professors and the programs were terrific there. So it's great to have you representing Bergen Community College today. So, Tam, tell us a little bit about, what you do there. You're the manager of business development. What does that really mean for us?
All right. So again, thanks for having me, Alan. And what my job entails is at Bergen Community College inside the continuing education department. And inside the continuing education department is a department called corporate training. And that's where I am the actual manager of corporate training, business development. So my job is to provide services to the community, such as customized training. So let's say, for example, your ACM Records needs a course. Maybe you're having some internal issues with communication with your employees. So we have excellent instructors, and I would have a lengthy conversation with you about your goals and what you'd like to achieve. And then we can customize a training with one of our instructors to meet your exact needs. So that's one of the things that we do in our continuing education corporate training department. Another one is I also offer open enrollment classes. And what does that mean? That means I offer classes also in manufacturing and welding myself individually. And I also am very involved with a program called Early Career. And that is where we offer high school students an opportunity to take on-the-job training or training that's going to lead to a career that they can start when they immediately graduate from high school and start to earn a good living with even benefits, because we know not all students that go to high school are going to be college material. And maybe if they aren't right away, they may become later, but this offers them an option where they're maybe not just working in a grocery store, but they actually have real life skills, in a career. So my job really entails anything. I just got off on a call this morning with another high school where they're looking for a specific manufacturing class. So we have an excellent instructor, and we can customize that training where the instructor can work with students there. A lot of our courses are also offered online currently, virtually, where we do live sort of synchronous training. Where students can actually have the training we use WebEx live with an instructor right in front of them. And then we also do asynchronous, where they're taking it sort of, it's at their own pace. So
that's terrific. Yeah, that's great. So really, that's a large scope. I didn't realize, because first of all, you just mentioned something that interests me. My company, whether it's my real estate, my music business, whatever, I could actually come to you and say, I need to know more about marketing. I need to know more about financing or budgeting and this and that. So technically, me as a company could come to you and ask for that. Now, you said personalized training. Is this with an instructor one-on-one, or is this, you figure out which course would be best?
Whatever you want. It's customized. So we can work with an entire company of 1,800 people, 2,000 people, or we can work with an individual.
So if you work with a company that big, are you working one-on-one with the main person of that company, or you say you could help train many people from that company?
We usually develop the training with a few people, and then depending what they want to do, we can roll out the training to as many individuals as they like. Now, it may not be all in one session, but again, we can customize things so that we can meet the need of the client.
Well, okay, so now you're saying customize. So now you have one professor, say we have one professor in marketing.
Yes.
I need to know about marketing. So he's really actually going to customize this program directly for us. So it's one-on-one. Does that, cost-wise, how is that now obviously to the client or the company coming to you? Because we're
Good question. I like that question. So this is what's really important. I'm really happy you brought that up, Ellen, because one thing I can say is we are a community college, so we are more of a community college price. We offer the same services that a corporation, that let's say a for-profit corporation may offer, the customized trainings, but they're going to charge probably, depending on how big you want, let's say tens of thousands of dollars, or we might be thousands of dollars. And we could get into the 10,000s at my department. It just depends on the size and the scope and the customization of what they're looking for.
So is that...
They cost hundreds of dollars. It depends.
By term, obviously school, you do a term or a semester. Is it a certain amount of weeks per program, or now that it's customized, it's once a month or once every week? How do you schedule it out?
It could be a 1 hour, one-shot training. I have one of those coming up next week. Or it could be something that goes on for several months. So it's completely customized. And that's the really cool thing about it, I think, is that we are able to really pinpoint exactly what our client is looking for.
Now, do many other colleges do that as well? I never even thought about going there for a customized, program.
Yes, there are other colleges that have a department. Some are very active and some aren't really very active. Our department is very active. So
Right.
we are pretty seasoned in this area. We have excellent instructors that have been with us for quite a while.
Right. That's terrific. Now, the other side of the scope, which is a far way away, you're talking about customizing programs now for high school children. How would they even know to come to a college if they're from high school and they didn't even get into the college?
That's a really good question. So
That's a good one. That's two good ones.
yeah, that is a very good question. We do marketing and we work closely with our PR department because we know that social media is really where it's at. And we will work closely with them to create a marketing campaign. So we've done that because one of our programs that we control, what I mentioned earlier through our continuing education department, is our early career programs. So we've had quite a marketing campaign. And then we also use constant contact email, just like you do. So we do have contacts for every guidance counselor and principal, and we can send out a social media campaign through constant contact as well, or I should say actually an email campaign. And we have done over the summer, a couple of virtual open houses with educators to help them to explore those options for their students that may not be maybe college material.
So you might reach out to the actual high schools themselves. Do you go to Fairlawn High School? Do you go to Midland Park High School? Paramus, you're in Paramus, obviously. Bergen Community is in Paramus. So do you work with the high school in Paramus as well?
We work with any high school that's interested in working with us. So yes, we have worked with all those high schools that you have mentioned. Maybe they don't have students enrolled right now, or maybe they have in the past, or maybe they will in the fall. So over the summer is a big time where we are really, people think it's funny, oh, you're not really busy in the summer. Oh, we're very busy. We are completely gearing up for the school actual year. And we do currently offer for our early career programs 3 areas of logistics training and early childhood associate, and also medical office assistant. So students can take those courses while they're in high school during the school year. They'll then be placed in an internship about 2/3 of the way through the year. And then the goal is to help place them. Our department does that. We have a wonderful career counselor. And then our career counselor will work with helping place the students in a job upon graduation of high school. So they can walk out of high school into their new job. And it might even start beforehand, by the way. That's not unusual.
So that's really terrific. Like you say, you could really jumpstart, a 17, 18-year-old into the working force pretty early before they get to, I mean, a lot of people, don't really think about that as much until they're in college. So, are these students really just looking for jobs, so to speak, or the education, and then they might go to BCC as a full-time student as well once, now that they're used to working with somebody from Bergen Community?
First, I want to say the students are looking for options. And I don't even know if they are verbalizing that in their head at 16, 17, 18 years old. But I think a lot of them are aware. I don't know what I'm going to do after high school. A lot of them, I find in our program also, not a lot of them, but some of them go to the military. And a lot of them do end up full-time Bergen Community College students. And then some of them also, what they'll do is they'll end up a full-time Bergen Community College student, but they're able to work this certificate around their college schedule. Mm-hmm. Now with classes, a lot of our classes at Bergen Community College in the fall are going to be online, being taught with a live, in many cases, instructor, professor. So they will have to be on the computer at a specified time. And then some of them, of course, will sort of like the health profession programs, maybe the manufacturing programs, and so on. It's still being worked out. There'll be a piece where they're on campus because that's obviously they have to be.
Great. So, okay, that led me into 2 things. One is financially, how does a high school student first getting out pay for it? Is there financial aid for these programs?
So for our programs, the students are being financed by their high school. So we work closely with the principal.
Financed by the high school?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I didn't realize that the money comes actually from the high school itself.
Yes, it does. So the principal and the superintendent often get involved. The director of guidance gets involved. Or sometimes the school social worker, depending on how the high school is organized. And we work very closely with them, and they have a contract with us, and then we get students enrolled and we go.
Right. So is that coming from a grant, from a government grant to that high school, or?
In some cases, they might have a grant that they're working with, and sometimes it comes out of their budget.
Sometimes out of a budget. And what about for a company? So let's go back to the company a second. Obviously, there wouldn't be any grants or financial aid for small companies.
Actually, there is a grant. Have you ever heard of the NJBIA grant?
I didn't. NJBIA?
Yes, NJBIA. And NJBIA there is a grant that is offered through the association. And
well, what does it stand for?
What does it stand for? And you're going to ask me, New Jersey Business. I have to look up the IA. Sorry, it's not. I did have COVID, by the way, and it's my recall.
You did?
March. I'm better, but it's funny because I'm like, my recall. So yes, I'm so embarrassed. I forgot what NJBIA is.
That's taking me to another angle altogether. You did, and everything, you're okay? I mean, you look terrific.
I'm fine. It's funny because sometimes I find my recall is like, whoa. But so I should have written it down.
Affected your memory?
I feel like it did a little bit, my recall. Yeah, I'll remember in 10 minutes. Maybe it's that I'm also going to be 60 in September. Maybe that's what.
Happy birthday. You're still a youngster to me. No.
Right, I'm still a youngster.
Let's talk about that for a minute, then we'll go back. I didn't mean to divert from our main topic, but I haven't interviewed anybody that had actually the virus.
Yeah.
So how long were you out for? I mean, how did it impact you?
The day we closed campus, I think it was the week of St. Patrick's Day. So I think that was the day I went in the office and I wasn't feeling good. And I thought I had too much coffee. Like it was weird. Like I felt like I was almost on a caffeine rush in the beginning. And then I just kept ignoring it and thinking, I think it's allergies, because I always blame allergies. Oh, it's allergies, no, seasonal allergies. You know, it was a warm winter. Spring came early, right? And then I realized as that week went on that I'm not right, because I was so tired. And then so that was, let's see, my last day of work, I think it was St. Patrick's Day. Tuesday, was it the 17th or the 18th of March? And the next Tuesday, I did get a COVID test, and then I came out positive.
Right. So were you?
I didn't even know it.
Positive. I mean, were you out of commission? Obviously, did it hit you?
I tried to keep working, but there were days I just couldn't. I was just exhausted. I slept a lot, but I didn't have the bronchial thing. I did get a little infection in my right lung, and the Z-Pack took care of it. But it was more like really achy, really, really, really achy, and really tired, and just I kind of don't remember it at the same time. I didn't have an intestinal thing, thank God, or anything like that. I had headaches.
So how did you quarantine from your family?
I'm an empty nester. I live with my boyfriend, and he thinks he might have had it too. He did not get a test though, and I just stayed home. I mean, everybody was home at that point, and I just kind of
and slipping it under the door, the slot under the door.
He didn't really quarantine that much from me because it was already too late. You know, I was around him the whole time. You know, you live with somebody, so.
Wow. And last question, because we run an agency and we kept all our agents away, and now one of our new agents wants to come to the office. She had it, and I'm like, but then I started doing some research on it, and it says after you have had it, you're not contagious anymore.
I'm not sure. So I actually do have to call back I think it's the Red Cross, where I have to actually follow up with them, because I did want to test to see if I could donate a convalescent plasma, but I was on vacation last week, so I'm still catching up. And I got that call while I was on vacation. I did not call them back. So I have to follow up on that, actually.
And how long did it last, the main intensity of it?
I would say the intensity was 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah. And then I would say beforehand, the week before, my dean kept saying to me, your eyes look glassy. You feel okay? I'm like, it's allergies. And then I would say another maybe week or 2 weeks after, I was just really tired after the intense 2 weeks. But I started to feel better for sure, not the achiness.
Right. And now you lost half your memory, but are you feeling much better now? No.
I am feeling better now. Thank you.
You do feel much better. I mean, I would never say, oh, well, it looks like she was sick, but pretty much you're back to a norm.
I'm riding my bike again, and I'm definitely, I think so. There are days I get really tired, but there are always days you're tired as a person, right? Who knows?
Right. Well, okay, so that brings us, I guess, to the other part of our conversation was, well, first of all, God bless you, and I'm glad you're well, and I wish that you never had it, but I wish you all the best.
I guess. Thank you.
Covered and moving on. I wish everybody the best.
Yeah.
So this has been a very hard situation. So you did mention that in the fall everything is going online. It was online, I guess, from the beginning. February, March, we all went online. I also am a professor at William Patterson University.
Yeah.
And we switched all our stuff to online. So how did this change, the program itself? Were you always online, or people were really actually coming to Bergen Community to?
Well, really, most people took classes in the classroom. Most of our students, that's pretty much the community college student, is they really want to be in the classroom. I would say most community college students, particularly the ones that have never been to college before, that group pretty much wants to be in the classroom. But It seems to be working well. Students, from the reports that I have heard on the credit side, have worked well. A lot of our courses in continuing education have also, the ones that can, have transitioned online as well, virtually, with a live instructor in many cases. We also offer classes through a program called Ed2Go, and those are online.
Right. So your instructors, how much training did you have to give the instructors to switch platforms?
Not that much. I was really impressed how well they handled it. They're pretty, a lot of them also have their own business. So they're pretty entrepreneurial thinking anyway. And they acclimated very quickly. Some of them did tell us they didn't want to do it. And then I think because a lot of people thought, oh, it's going to be over in 2 weeks. And then they came around and they said, I think I do want to do it. Because they want to
I want to keep my job.
Exactly. Because I honestly, that's what I thought. I thought, oh, I'm going to be back April 1st, May 1st, June 1st. So we don't know. I have not had word yet as to when our department will be returning. I know certain departments are back on campus.
They are. Certain
like IT is back, and I heard, and also maintenance, maintenance and buildings and grounds. A lot of them are back, obviously. So and Bergen was also a COVID testing center. It's not anymore since June 30th, but they were. So we were off campus then, obviously. But obviously they had to have public safety in certain departments there. I guess you could call those the essential departments.
Now that it is online, you could have a further outreach to anybody from anywhere.
Yes, we can. We absolutely
expanding the program. Like somebody in California wants a customized program in marketing. You have it.
Yes. Right? Well, you are exactly right, Ellen. In fact, I didn't finish talking about the NJBIA courses. Okay. My memory loss led into COVID.
I think maybe I had it for a minute too, because I don't even remember.
So the NJBIA grant offers companies, if you're a company that you have offices in New Jersey, your employees can take certain courses, trainings free. So really, I have it in my PowerPoint, but some of the really popular ones are like Excel classes. And they're PowerPoint's another one, Access, Word. But there's a lot of course descriptions that we can offer under that are paid for by the state. And those can be, a lot of those are taken, now we've transitioned to those virtually, and it's going very well. And there's 2 ways students can take those. They can take it sort of as an open enrollment where they just enroll maybe 1 or 2 employees, or we can specifically give it to just one company if there's 10 or more students.
That's fantastic.
So that's, there's options there, right.
And how many people in your department that you're managing?
In my department, so I have 1, 2 and a half, including me.
2.5?
I can manage myself too, yeah. I'm the hardest one.
That's right.
Sometimes I feel like they manage me. Get this done, get that done. I have a great secretary, so she keeps me in touch.
That's great. So, all right. So you're managing 2.5 people. That's fantastic.
Maybe I'm a half. I don't know.
Because I want to get to your PowerPoint. I don't want to run out of time before you show us officially what you're doing. But just give me, just a couple of sentences about your background of how you got into management. I mean, there's a prestigious position. How would you get into something like that?
So I have a funny story. Can I start with my funny story?
I love funny stories.
I didn't want to, when I graduated high school, I really wasn't a great student. I didn't even know if it was college material. And I stumbled into college because I knew I didn't want to go to secretarial school. Because I thought I never could be a secretarian. The first job I got out of college was in New York City. It was so exciting. It was this fashion company. It's out of business now. And the crazy stuff that happened there. I mean, you couldn't believe it. I mean, it was an eye-opener for me. I was young, naive. And I ended up an administrative assistant. I talked myself, it's interesting, I learned this about myself. I talked myself into the job. I talked my way in. I was not qualified in the least, but I was so desperate to get a job. I thought that's how you got a job. I didn't know. And then I got fired because I was the world's worst administrative assistant. I lied about how fast I can type. They didn't give me a typing test. And I look back like, God, that's horrible. But, so then I realized in the second job I got, I was selling advertising space for a small newspaper. And I was like, okay, God, it didn't really click with me, but I was like, oh, this is so much more me. I don't have to worry about all these stupid details. I just can sell. So that I did. And then I also kind of stumbled into working in higher education. And for a long time, I worked with Berkeley College and had a wonderful experience there. I made a lot of friends and grew a lot. And I did sort of these motivational presentations in the classroom. And I really liked it in the high school classroom. And then that way students they would get a sort of this philanthropic topic. And if they wanted to learn more about the college, they could fill out a card. And then I was interviewing the students on the campus, and that sort of led me into higher education. And I was there for a long time. And for a while, then I left Berkeley College for I think 6 years. And then at one point I got an opportunity to work as an interim director of admissions at Bergen. And I did. I didn't get the job. I applied and interviewed for it twice. I think I was there 14 months and I loved it. But I didn't have a master's degree at the time. So I left and went somewhere else. And then this job came up. I think I've been here a little over a year and a half. And when I saw this position, I was like, well, wait a minute, this is kind of my skill set, because I was looking for something that matched my skill set. And I had a master's degree. I'd gone on a
master's degree in?
It's in organizational leadership. And
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah. And where did you get that from?
Sorry?
Where did you get your master's?
I went to Mercy College. And I think it was the first time in my life as an adult I realized, oh, I am a good student. I really am glad I did it, because it proved a lot to myself, and I grew and I learned so much. I always used to think, I just need the piece of paper. I'm not going to learn anything. Well, I learned a lot.
Terrific.
And I loved it. And it really it gave me kind of the confidence. It was a great program. I recommend it to anybody.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So.
Great. That's terrific. You have a strong background in that. You were an English major, and now you have organizational skills from your master's, and you got into this. Do you want to share with us a few minutes your PowerPoint?
Please, yes.
I hope I didn't go through the whole time of the PowerPoint.
Can you see it?
There it is.
Okay, so there we are. So we are Bergen Community College, and as you can see at the bottom, we're specifically the Division of Continuing Education and Workforce Development. And I will talk about what that means. And I'm trying to go to the next slide. How do I go to the next slide? Oh, there we go. This is our team of people. Dr. Christine Gillespie, she's our executive director. Cinzia Diorio, she's really well known in the area. She used to have my job. She's amazing, and she's now the Dean of Continuing Education. And you can see we also offer health professions classes. Dr. Gonzalez Bosch is the associate director. Jamie Pardo, I worked with him at Berkeley College for a long time, and now we're together here, and he's the manager of career placement. Amazing. Linda Caruso, she's fantastic. She runs the Business Accelerator in Lyndhurst. And then there's me.
Terrific.
And then here's just a little bit. We talked a lot about this, so I won't go into it for time's sake, but here's the customized training that we do offer. And those, of course, can be, when we get back, it can be on campus, it can be at your company, or it can be virtually. And then we talked about this already, but this is a little bit more about the grant-funded training that we offer, again, now virtually through the NJBIA grant. There we go, the New Jersey Business and Industry Association.
We know.
And again, those courses can be offered at your company's site, just for your company if you have 10 or more people, or you can send people to campus when we reopen. Or we also do virtually open enrollment, where people can go online and take the class, or we also offer virtual customized training, or just for a particular class through NJBIA. Now, this is where we're getting into a little bit of business and technology, and these are just some of the areas that we offer. Human Resources Certificate. We do offer QuickBooks Pro. There's an introduction course and an intermediate course and an advanced, but we also offer QuickBooks Certification and basic bookkeeping, where this really prepares students to sit for the QuickBooks examination. It is the second one, the QuickBooks certification, is a longer training. It's 260 hours, I think, so it's quite a commitment. Mm-hmm. And then we also offer, Excel 3 is not offered under the NJBIA grant, just Excel 1 and 2 are, but we do have a lot of people that come in to take the advanced data analysis course. And again, these are all able to be online. And we have our virtual B2Bs, and somebody from your association, Tony, she often tunes into those, which I really appreciate. I have another one coming up in August. I'm just working out the dates with a lovely woman from Fairlawn. I mentioned to you her earlier, and she is a life coach. And I am personally also working with her as a life coach, and I'm very proud to say. And I see why people hire them. She's quite dynamic, but I'll have more information about that later.
Great.
Data analysis is just really zeroing in much more specifically. We have a wonderful gentleman who teaches this, and this is really data analysis for the absolute beginner, which is fantastic because it's intimidating. We have a great course called Managing and Leading Your Team Remotely. So this is a great course for supervisors and managers. I did something similar to this recently in Spanish for a company. So we do have someone that can speak Spanish as well, because that company did a lot of importing of Spanish foods. And Google Analytics for basic to intermediate users, where, hey, you have this account, it's free, but how do I use it? So we have a wonderful instructor named Becky Livingston, and she goes really into detail on that. And it's really technical. It's still kind of intimidating to me. We also, on the continuing education side, offer construction courses. And a lot of these courses here are really for people that currently have some experience in construction. But there's a couple of different licenses that we offer: administrative licenses, technical licenses. I won't go through all of them, but just so that you know that they're there and they're on our website. And I'd like to get to that also, to show you how to find us. Mm-hmm. ESL, we do offer ESL as English as a second language. First thing a student's going to do is take a placement test, because there's so many levels. You can see the courses range from beginner 1 ESL to conversational English 2. That's a lot, right? Yeah. Now, even under the NJBIA grant, we do offer a certain amount of hours for ESL for a company, where we can do a training on their site. We've done that in the past. I've done that with a couple of companies where maybe they have a factory and a lot of their staff don't speak English. So that is something that can also be offered under the NJBIA grant. And then, of course, sometimes individuals come as well. And then fashion design. We have a really active program in our fashion design. It is for fashion and also home decor, which is very typical with fashion. A lot of people, when they finish a fashion certificate, might end up working in home decor. Think about all the companies that are out there, even Blinds to Go, right? That's a good start, to all sorts of companies. And then there's even some from sewing and to the fashion collection 1 and 2, and then also creating a portfolio so that you can really show on your interview what you're capable of doing. So graduating with that and finishing the certificate with a portfolio is very important. You just couldn't believe how really active that little program is. And then health professions, huge program. You can see all the courses that I have listed here. Now, these are certificates. This is not from the credit side where you're getting an associate's degree. These are certificates. They are a quick, well-paying way to a career. And something that's new that you might see here, it's halfway down, it's a little bit more to the right, bloodborne pathogens certificate. And this is also a course that I'm going to be offering through corporate training, where we can help companies reopen. And there is also OSHA training involved with that. So this is something that is new, but we have an excellent instructor. Bloodborne pathogens, another one is airborne pathogens, and that's where the COVID really is. That it's an airborne. That's why we're wearing masks. So the airborne pathogens, how you clean, how you prepare for reopening. So something you're going to be probably getting something in constant contact from me about that. And also I'm going to be listing it with our social media. Mm-hmm. So those are health professions. High school education for adults. We know that a lot of adults, I've met a lot of adults that, for whatever reason, never finished high school. And I know for some of us on this call, you think, really? But you would be surprised. So the high school equivalency has sort of replaced the GED, which is a more commonly known name. And you can see here that students will take a placement exam to see where they are, because we never want to turn anybody away. We want to be able to help them, because we know that We also do have customized HSE courses for employers. So some employers do want to help their staff get a high school diploma because sometimes it's hard to find them. We're finding a lot of areas like manufacturing and healthcare where it's really hard to get qualified people, and we might want them to move up, but they have to have a high school diploma before maybe they can take the next step to a certificate. So it's really, this is a soft spot for me because you just can't believe what some people have gone through in their life and why they haven't finished high school.
Incredible.
Oh, it really is. Oh, this is a really interesting program we have, the ILR, the Institute for Learning in Retirement. This program is for folks, I think you have to be 55 and older, which means I qualify, but maybe when I retire, I'll do this, but they pay a fee yearly. And then they're able to take these amazing courses, and they are an affiliate of Elder Hostel. It's at Bergen Community College, and you just can't believe some of the things. And they're a very, very, very dedicated group. And surprisingly, I love this part, Alan, is this group has actually, a lot of them have adjusted to taking a lot of the courses virtually. Isn't that amazing?
Sure.
They're really willing to learn, and they love it. They're always, when I was on campus, I always saw them. They're very interesting.
It's amazing you say they would also do it virtually too, as obviously if you're in your mid 60s or something like that, and don't have a lot of training with.
Yes. They're so interested to keep learning. And I know last year they had a program on that was about colonial women and how colonial women were treated in society by their husbands. Yeah. Isn't that interesting? We learned a lot that day. I thought that was really interesting, that course. So you just can't believe the stuff that's out there. But this is a really thirsty group. They're fantastic. And they know what they want, So we also have an interior design certificate. So interior design, like the fashion, you think, oh, fashion, interior design. There's some overlaps. But students they can either take the certificate or they can just take one course. And you can see here what the students are able to take here, from principles of interior design to lighting. Now you go, wow, lighting. I actually had met a woman a couple years ago, and she had a master's degree in interior lighting, very specific. And she worked with museums and all the way to individuals in their homes. So very, very interesting. When you think about it, she talked about the lighting in a museum, how you have to be careful because some of the paints are very delicate and you have to put the right kind of lighting. And we know lighting creates a mood, because remember you had me before we started, should I put the light on in the back? Should I not? So yeah, it's very, very interesting program. A lot of kind of psychology involved there. Kids and teens, this is going on right now. It is virtual. Normally it's on campus, obviously. It did already start on June 29th, and we have from the ages of 7 to 18. Sometimes students need to make up credits to graduate. Sometimes, I'm just talking about high school here, and sometimes students also want to take some advanced classes, or so that they can also not take them their senior year, and everything in between, and things for children as well, smaller children. And believe it or not, we have quite a group that's online. And then also languages. We teach foreign language, and we teach American Sign Language, from all the way up to conversational Spanish. It's in colloquial Spanish. It's really amazing what we offer. And again, also, and with the sign language, it can also be taught without voice. So anyone that just wants to be enriched or has a reason to take it, it can be for pleasure or it can be for really survival.
Incredible.
Law and safety, we're offering one course right now. It's our New Jersey Certificate of Animal Control Officer. So they can actually get a job, maybe with a borough even, or with a nonprofit or a rescue group, or it might be many, many different areas. So I love I love dogs, so please help.
Yes.
And we also offer, I had mentioned this before, manufacturing logistics. We offer a welding program accredited and credentialed by the American Welding Society. Some of the people that come into these classes, by the way, I do want to mention, currently work in the field and they're looking to expand their career, or they're totally going to change careers. We've had everything. So advanced manufacturing as well. We are going to try to offer some of these courses online. We also offer Certified Logistics Associate, Certified Logistics Technician. Now that's a course that's going to be taught through early career in the high schools I had mentioned earlier. And that's where students can graduate from high school and actually walk into a job. But we also offer it, we will be offering it also on campus, or I should really say virtually, because the material is all set up to be online. Certified Production Technician, that's really where it's light manufacturing. It's sort of an entry level of manufacturing where you're assembling things. So these courses are fantastic, and there is a huge need out there. We're constantly having manufacturing companies call us, or welding or whatever, saying, or logistics, I need 5 people now, but it's hard to find people. We know that. These are sort of our essential workers. Now, project management. Project management is something that is an incredibly growing field. Even before this little statistic was put up here, now with people working remotely, even more so. But PMP, now this is, I won't kid you, it's not easy. It's a hard program. But when students, we are preparing them to sit for the PMP exam in this program. And then you can even do this without having a college degree, but you would need to have pretty much 60 months of experience without a college degree, working in the project management area before you can actually sit for the exam. And then if you have a college degree, I believe it's 2 years, I think, to work in the area. So it is something that is, and let me tell you, these jobs are well paying. We've placed people in some jobs that have been in the 90,000s, in the 6 figures. Yeah. So it's an area where people are really, really needed. But again, it's not an easy job. It's a hard job.
Yes.
Real estate, we do offer a 75-hour real estate licensing, there you go, a course as well. And then teacher education and childcare, we do offer, this is what we're currently offering. We do offer the Childhood Development Associate, which is also going to be offered through our early career program at the high schools. And it's also offered to individuals at all ages. And then the courses that we have under teacher education, as you can see, really helping individuals to prepare for the praxics so they can take the exam and become a licensed teacher in New Jersey. Math, reading, and writing are the areas that we're offering. And then workforce development. I did want to bring this in. This is important for people to understand that, now, from what I understand, are you familiar with the one-stop office, Alan?
No, I am not.
So the one-stop office is for folks that are unemployed currently, which there are a lot of them. There is funding available to them through the one-stop office that, again, is a part of the unemployment office. They have to be collecting unemployment. And then from there, I also heard the one-stop office is open again in Bergen County. That's located in Hackensack on State Street. But if students get through the process through the one-stop system, they then can go to different colleges, and Bergen Community College is one of them, and receive something called, you can see, the WIOA funding. So, but students have to be approved by their local one-stop counselor before they can register for a training at the community college. So a lot of the courses that I mentioned today are funded through the WIOA grant, such as healthcare, such as the child care, and so on and so on. But it's really best that they go meet with their one-stop counselor, again, to get all that information, because we have to make sure that we are reporting it all correctly back to the state. But there's a lot of options out there for students, for people that are unemployed, developing the workforce. And then, of course, once they get through the training, I had mentioned Jamie Pardo earlier. He's in our career placement office. Yes. So then we work very carefully with the student in helping them to create a resume, giving them some soft skills, and also helping them to place them in a position.
Mm-hmm. Terrific.
And so I'm really sort of, at the end, this is how you contact us. I did want to mention our specific website. It's easy. You don't have to poke around all over the bergen.edu website. You can go to ce.bergen.edu, and that will take you directly to the continuing education page. Our general email for continuing education, you can see is continuinged@bergen.edu. And then for my department is corporate training at bergen.edu. So any email that you write to, we will make sure that you get to the correct department. Yeah, and continuing education is about constantly learning and constantly growing. We never stop learning.
Never stop learning.
I learn something new every day. I make mistakes every day. It's just life, right?
Very nice. Very nice.
Would you like me to show you the website, the Continuing Ed website?
Sure, if you would like to.
Sure, I would. I would just like to show people where to find it.
Okay.
All right. Can you see it?
No, you have to share the screen.
Whoops. Yep, so I have to go back to sharing. Excuse me.
Smiley faces.
All right, let's see here. Here it is. Can you see that?
It's coming on. Oh, there it is. Sure.
And then if you look here, it tells you a little bit about us. And all these programs that I talked about are over here on the left-hand side under courses and programs. So if we scroll down, I'm going to hit health professions here. So this just gives you an overview. And what it will do is it will show you that there's the health profession courses and certificates, the full list of courses. And then it will show you the list of health profession courses that are currently open. Mm-hmm. So if I click on that, it'll take a person to sort of the courses that are currently open, for example. And there's quite a few of them, as you can see.
Yes. Incredible.
Yes, and we're also, our healthcare department is also working with a national grant that is for healthcare and working to help place people as, what am I trying to say, as pharmacy technicians. There we go. That's one area, but many other areas as well. So it's exciting. It's exciting. There's a lot of opportunity out there.
Well,
people can pay out of pocket, but it's a quick way. These programs through our continuing education department, again, are a quick way to sort of advance your career.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, let's take the screen off for a minute.
Sure. I think I had a question. There was a chat.
No, but we did have a participant before that does want to get in touch with you.
Terrific.
So that you can help out our company, and she could also let our company, be introduced to you guys. I have to say, I'm really, really impressed.
Oh, good.
Really impressed. I mean, I didn't give it much thought, but it's actually more diverse and complex than I thought it was when we first started. So by seeing all those courses in so many different fields, it's really a remarkable program that you're managing. Incredible.
We do, and I want to give kudos to my department because we really do get back to people. So if you email us or you call us, we're able to retrieve our voicemails from home. Yeah. So we do get back to people very quickly, and we're sort of like a small college inside a huge, because Bergen Community College is a powerhouse. But I always look at continuing education as we're sort of like this small college inside a big college. Yeah. So we take our students very seriously. We adore our students. We appreciate them, and we will get back to you as quickly as possible and see what we can do to help you.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, it's a really, really amazing program. The project managing is so interesting. I didn't realize that you have your own real estate place over there, that you could do that, because a lot of people take it. There's one or two other schools from the bigger companies. Really, really fantastic.
I took a real estate course many.
Hey, come work for us. Come on.
I don't think I even have a license anymore, but it's a long time ago.
So, Tam,
it's a hard hustle to be a real estate agent.
Yeah, well, we'll help you out all the way. We're a boutique agency. We have about 10 agents now, and most of our agents are, more developed in business also. So we're not looking for just a million people from like a big company. People that are really focused on, maybe some of them are investors that need their license for their properties, and just people really doing business. So, but
clients appreciate that too.
Yeah. Once again, Tam, as I wrap this up right now, I just want to say it's a pleasure knowing you. you've been a participant many times on our show, and really to get this in-depth spotlight about you just really opens up so much more. It's great, and the program that you're managing is really huge and so beneficial to our community that it's really remarkable. I do appreciate that.
Thank you. And thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Quickly, you are members of the Chamber of Fairlawn, correct?
Bergen Community College, I am a member, and yes.
So it's a good way for you to network and obviously to bring more people to your programs then.
Sure. That's what I try to do. I try to find as many different ways to bring people to our programs.
Yes.
Because I think that it's amazing what continuing education has, as you said, Alan, and people don't always know. And also then the corporate training piece that for companies, everything. I mean, we do so much.
Yeah, incredible. So
I didn't touch on everything because I would have been here all day.
Yeah, I'm sure. So in closing, once again, I like to thank Tam Vaughn, manager of business development at Bergen Community College. She was our special business spotlight today. Thank you so much, Tam, for being with us. Thank you for sharing the community, Bergen Community College. Thank you for sharing your history, and I hope this brings more people to your program, because I think it is so beneficial. As you said, we never stop learning. I didn't get a master's degree until maybe about 4 years ago. I went back to William Patterson University because I was teaching there. I graduated college in 1978. So it was almost 40 years. And I always said, like you said before, it's just a piece of paper. I don't know if I need it. And then I actually went back there, and I just feel so much better that I do have more of an education. And like you said, you never stop learning, especially for us, adults. It's really great. So
yes, I love learning. And I never would have said that in high school. So people, we change.
Even you could do it. So anyway, once again, Tam Vaughn, manager of business development with Bergen Community College. I want to thank the Fairlawn Chamber of Commerce for giving us this opportunity to spotlight local community businesses, to the members of the chamber, and also to the community at large. My name is Alan Cohen, managing director of Living Great Real Estate and owner of ACM Records here in town. I want to thank the chamber again for letting me interview these wonderful guests every week. I want to, especially to you, Tam, stay safe. I'm glad you recovered. God bless you for recovering. You look terrific and strong again. I want to still wish everyone to be safe and healthy and still be very careful out there. But let's be strong and we'll get out of this. Thank you very much for joining Fairlawn Chamber of Commerce Business Spotlight and Networking. Thank you so much.